Good evening and welcome to today's edition of the 6:30 Prime News on My Media Prime. Thanks for being with us. My name is Gienda Peljum Blanche King. We're live from Studio A at Fengudrombange in Douala, the economic capital of the country. It was a Black Sunday in Mbopi yesterday as traders watched their shops in markets reduced to ashes. The cause of the fire that consumed shops and warehouses is still unclear. Investigations are ongoing, and meantime, huge material losses have been recorded. Nora Kakebi completes the story.
Over the weekend in the economic capital Douala, the population of Mbopi woke up to an ugly incident where a good number of shops and warehouses in the market were consumed by wild flames. The fire ravaged close to 21 shops and warehouses, consuming many material items such as cosmetics commonly used by women. But apart from these cosmetics, other items such as food flasks, plates, as well as other kitchen utensils were lost. According to the Army Rescue Commander, Kadre Ebdiel, together with his team who rushed to the site, it was not easy for the fire to be put out because of inaccessibility. He said their car was parked hundreds of meters away from the fire incident because they could not access the area easily. He added that there is no water point in the market and the market authorities do not even think it is a necessity.
Environ de 03h54, les secours ont été sollicités pour un feu ici au marché Mbopi. Et immédiatement, les secours sont rendus sur les lieux. Et à notre arrivée, ce sont des flammes qui s'échappaient de plusieurs boutiques.
Given the fact that the fire broke out as early as 3 a.m. on Sunday, it was somehow difficult for thieves and vandals to make away with items since the rescue team was already present and provided maximum security and protection. The Army Rescue Commander advised that market authorities should make sure a firefighting unit should be made available and very accessible in the market in order to fight against fire incidents like this in the future. According to him, the material damages and losses could really be enormous. It should be noted that no human casualties were recorded, but the material damage is huge. Investigations are ongoing as to the cause of the fire. Meanwhile, all fingers point to the poor cable connections in the Mbopi market, as is the case with many other markets in the country, causing fire disasters always.
An update of the accident that happened yesterday along the Fumban-Yaoundé highway, which claimed over 30 lives. Minister of Transport, Masenanga Lebebehi, and Minister of Territorial Administration, Minister Paul Atanganji, visited the accident scene at Decmber, where 37 persons lost their lives yesterday, with about 18 others severely injured. They visited the scene to take stock of damages caused by the accident. Details in the French language with Gladys Pomotongina.
Bilan de morts très lourd. Plus d'une trentaine de personnes auraient perdu la vie dans la nuit de samedi 26 au dimanche 27 décembre 2020 en partance de la région de l'Ouest Cameroun pour la capitale politique Yaoundé à bord d'un bus d'Avenir Voyage. Ce sont entre autres des hommes, des femmes et des enfants, probablement de retour du week-end de Noël. Plusieurs blessés graves conduits dans les hôpitaux de district de Bafia et de Koutaba, tandis que les corps sont actuellement à l'hôpital central de Yaoundé pour identification par les membres de la famille.
Nous venons d'enregistrer un accident regrettable sur la route nationale numéro 4, précisément dans l'arrondissement de Tikimniki, où une bus d'Avenir Voyage s'est dérapé et se trouve au fin fond du pont où nous retrouvons maintenant. Dans cet accident, nous avons déploré 37 décès et 18 blessés graves. Ces blessés ont immédiatement été transportés dans les centres de santé de Makenene et Ndikimiliki pour la prise en charge. Mais nous demandons à nos usagers de cette route qui est en réhabilitation d'être prudents sur cette route.
Cet effroyable accident, survenu précisément au lieu dit Nomalé, si à 7 km de Dikimniki, aurait été causé alors que le conducteur de gros porteurs en vitesse aurait évité une collision frontale avec un camion. Une situation tellement alarmante qu'elle n'a pas pu laisser indifférent le ministre des Transports, le ministre de l'administration territoriale et d'autres membres du gouvernement qui se sont rendus promptement sur le lieu du drame. La nationale numéro 4 aura été un lieu de tristesse pour plusieurs familles en cette période de fin d'année 2020.
Still on a sad note, a lady and her 2 kids were confirmed dead yesterday after an accident around Bunduma in Boya southwest region of the country. A suspected case of drunk and driving. The driver is currently under police custody or currently behind bars. Details in the following report with Eileen Sama.
The young man involved in the hit-and-run incident on Sunday in Boya is said to have been stinkingly soaked in alcohol and was on top speed when he crushed the woman and her 2 kids who were about to cross the road, according to witnesses. The incident, which occurred in Bunduma around Paul Biya Boulevard, left all in and around the neighborhood in shock and disbelief as they watched life snatched out of a mother and her 2 kids said to be on their way to church, and the driver responsible for the act taken to his heel. However, the driver, an alleged Kamer, was later on arrested at Sandpit, a nearby neighborhood, by the police. The woman and her 2 children were rushed to the Boya Regional Hospital Annex. Immediately the accident occurred, where they were confirmed dead. Their bodies were then deposited at the mortuary pending funeral arrangements, while the security team in charge, led by the commissioner of the Molika police station Boya, continues with investigations. Sunday's tragic event comes on the heels of another which happened at mile 18 Boya on Saturday, where 2 secondary school students reportedly drowned at a hotel pool as they made merry on Boxing Day. Sources say the 2 are students of bilingual grammar school Moliko, who are among many other drowning victims in Boya, chieftown of the southwest region. These are a few of sad events that characterize Christmas festivity in Cameroon.
A sad weekend indeed in Cameroon. Still on a sad note, 2 people were equally confirmed dead yesterday at the main entrance to Melong following a head-on collision between 2 cars. Etape content completes the story.
C'est un accident. Cette voiture démolie que vous voyez en image est un véhicule personnel de marque RAV4 qui est entré en collision avec un bus de transport en commun 70 places à l'entrée principale de la ville de Melon, située dans le département du Mougo, région de l'Ouest. 4 personnes étaient assises dans la personnelle, 2 sont mortes et 2 autres sont blessées. Dans le gros porteur, sur 70 places, 4 sont blessés. Au total, le bilan de cet accident fait état de 2 morts, 6 blessés. Un témoin revient sur les circonstances.
Là, il balançait sur la route. C'est là où le gros porteur maintenant sortait en face de lui. Le gros porteur voulant l'esquiver. Il est venu entrer parce que lui n'avait plus de direction. Lui, il était en famille et il il allait sur la route. C'est comme ça que le gros porteur, en voulant l'esquiver, il y a le petit tailleur là, il a profité maintenant. Sinon le gros porteur ne serait jamais tombé.
Le chauffeur, 2 personnes. Le chauffeur et son confrère à côté de lui.
Ce nid de poule que vous voyez en image serait à l'origine de l'incident. Cependant, avec la roue percée, la personnelle tentait de l'esquiver au moment même où le bus venait en vitesse. Malgré les efforts fournis par son chauffeur, le pire s'est produit. Les accidents de route sont récurrents au Cameroun, dus souvent au mauvais état des routes. Toutefois, si le gouvernement ne les entretient pas, il ne va plus se passer chaque temps qu'un accident se produise.
Away from that, some 500 internally displaced persons in Bamenda benefited from the special Christmas gift from the head of state. The gifts were donated or were handed over to them on Thursday by Northwest Governor Adolphe Lily Lafrique. Details with Charles Kiwa from the Northwest region of the country.
Some 500 families, internally displaced persons, eve of Christmas in Bamenda, received a special Christmas gift of the head of state to IDPs of the Northwest region. More distributions will be done tomorrow, 29 December 2022, a plus 500 family. The package destined to the 7 divisions of the region were equally received by the divisional officers to be distributed in their various divisions.
Today, good for 500 families, yes. But on Monday, we will also have another distribution for 500 families. The other region, in the other division, yes, 300 families are concerned for the other 6 divisions. Yes, we have the same group as the distribution here in the region.
Handing over the presidential Christmas gift to the IDPs, Northwest Governor Anglophone Afrique told them to collaborate and the crisis in the region. Said this time is for peace to be restored in the region.
And the head of state and the first lady for this timely gesture, and to ask you to make good use of that assistance. More is still to come, and to plead that, like I usually recall when we are meeting here, that in going back to your various communities, you should be the agent of peace, peace crusaders.
The IDPs received blanket, soap, rice, bucket, tins of beef, oil, sugar, and mattress.
In fact, we are so happy, we are so very much impressed. We have to appreciate the head of state that he has not forgotten us here, and we tell him that, well, we are directly behind him.
Northwest Governor Anglophone Afrique equally assured the population that certain mechanism has been set up to ensure the population of the region celebrate the end of year festivity in a peaceful atmosphere.
Head of State President Paul Biya has signed a decree laying the conditions and duties of the Public Independent Conciliator for the Northwest and Southwest regions of the country. The conciliator will, among other duties, examine and settle disputes between citizens and regional administrators. Details with Audrey Zatsa.
The decree determining the functions of public independent conciliators, signed by President Paul Biya Thursday, 24 December 2020, is in accordance with Chapter 3 of December 24, 2019 law to institute General Code of Regional and Local Authorities. Public independent conciliators shall be appointed by decree by President of the Republic on the concerted proposal of the President of the Regional Executive Council and the representative of the state. According to the text, the individual will serve for a 6-year non-renewable term and have as primary objective to amicably settle disputes between individuals and regional and municipal administration and ensure that regional authorities are ethical in performing their duties. Still, as prescribed by the decree, the Public Independent Conciliator shall submit to the President of the Republic an annual report on the state of relations between citizens and regional and council services. In all, the Public Independent Conciliator, as prescribed by the Presidential Decree, shall be an independent authority with a regional jurisdiction. He shall have legal personality and financial autonomy. It is, however, hoped by many Cameroonians that the decree signed a day before the Christmas celebration by President in a bid to help solve the Anglophone crisis will serve its purpose genuinely.
Some 23 laureates have successfully undergone a 12-month training sponsored by the Southwest Regional Branch of the National Employment Fund. They graduated over the weekend under the banner of the 2020 batch of trainees of the National Employment Fund. Kmer with the rest of the story.
The National Employment Fund Southwest Regional Branch, in partnership with some professional training institutes, have successfully graduated 23 trainees for the 2018 batch of trainees as part of our mission in the fight against youth unemployment. Addressing laureates and trainers during the graduation ceremony, the director of the National Employment Fund Southwest Branch, Madame Lokumbela Suzanne, congratulated the heads of training centers for impacting the trainees with just the adequate skills needed to accompany them in the job market. She called on the laureates to use the knowledge acquired to excel in the job market, and why not create meaningful employment for themselves and others.
Most of the candidates, when they come here, they lack the skills. They don't have the competence. And job hunting is all about professionalism. You cannot pick a job when you don't have a skill. Most of them are like, we call them jack of all trade, master of none. They don't have a specific skill. So after being received by an employment counselor, he or she will orientate that candidate to do a training. And at the end of the training, you have a skill. You are now a professional. You are qualified. You are autonomous to get into the job market. Another act that we do is self-employment. We don't only do intermediation, we don't only train the candidates, we also sponsor projects. Because our mission is to create employment. If we sponsor a project, of course you're going to create employment. That is the goal of the National Employment Fund. And lastly, we disseminate information about the job market. We always say somebody that is not informed is deformed.
The laureates, who were 23 in number, were trained as tourist agents, web designers, graphic designers, digital marketers, hotel managers, and caterers. They were privileged to receive their end-of-course diplomas from the hands of the Director of the National Employment Fund, the Divisional Delegate of Employment and Vocational Training for FACO, and a host of other dignitaries present to grace the event.
I was able to learn how to do business online. We all know that if your business is not online right now, you're missing out on a lot. So we learned how to optimize websites. We learned how to do marketing on social media platforms, just how to be able to boost your presence, your online presence, so that you rank high and you are visible to not just Cameroon, but the world at large.
It should be noted that these graduates came to the National Employment Fund without any skill in their domain of specialization. After counseling, they were sent for a psychotechnical test to evaluate their competence and later referred for training.
Some 100 internally displaced women residing in Great Sopo Boya, southwest region of the country, have received food support from a humanitarian organization. The donation, which took place over the weekend in Boya, was dubbed Operation Feed the Community. Crise tells us more.
These are young men born in Great Sopo Boya who have come together under the banner of the Network for Progress NetPro in partnership with Cameroon Union Flanders CUP to give to their community through this humanitarian activity of providing assistance. The items comprised of rice and toilet rolls that was distributed to some 100 women and IDPs living within the Great Sopo community.
After this very difficult year with the COVID-19 and every other thing, we thought it wise to come together to prepare something for our mothers and sisters, and more also some of the So that's why.
While donating these food items and toiletries to the women, it was also revealed that the association looks forward to give Great Sopo Boya a facelift. This will be done through cleanup campaigns on public spaces reserved for dumping of public waste, as well as the renovation of public taps.
We are there to support each other, mostly our mothers who are in Great Sopo here. The project we have just like what we are sharing today. We have other projects like to clean the trash, where the trash in Sopo here, and to work on the taps, the public taps which are out of use. Those are the future projects we have, and many more.
Owing to the fact that the ongoing Anglophone crisis and recently the COVID-19 pandemic have inflicted hardship on many, this initiative have been applauded by many and described as timely.
Because the ups and downs and the evil has become too much. We pray that the Almighty God will continue to bless these children. They are young boys. They would have diverted this gift into money and use for themselves, but they thought it wisely to share.
They gave me rice and toilet roll. So I want to tell the community that I'm really grateful for the effort that.
Meanwhile, as the twofold crisis persists, these humanitarian workers enjoin the villagers to individually contribute their own quota to reinstate peace within the Great Sopo community.
Still in the southwest region of Cameroon, Mabanda neighborhood in Kumba has received a borehole project donated by a brewery company in Cameroon. The foundation stone was laid over the weekend, as Tamfusidwan Dimbia tells us in the report that follows.
The Mabanda population in Kumba 3 subdivision, Meme division of Cameroon, has witnessed the laying of foundation stone for the construction of a giant borehole by a renowned brewery company in Cameroon. This comes at a time when the population of the village has suffered for many years for lack of potable drinking water. Addressing the population today, the Southwest Chief of Commercial Services of the company says the borehole will help put an end to numerous waterborne diseases.
If I can think of the numerous waterborne diseases in our community, then I can say without fear of contradiction that this project is timely.
He also told My Media Prime TV that they must pay back to the Kumba 3 community for hosting a branch of the company and for their continuous fidelity.
When I found that, firstly, our depot in Kumba is situated in Kumba 3 subdivision. Bam. That was the first issue that made me to make the proposal, and so it had to go to our management committee, and then they upheld my choice.
The mayor of Kumba 3 Subdivisional Council says the construction of the borehole is timely and will save the population of his municipality.
I wish to thank from the bottom of my heart the CEO of Brazzaville to Cameroon for choosing Kumba 3 in general and Mabanda in particular. It's like they read the minds of the council, they read the minds of the Mabanda people, and they knew what we were going through in Mabanda as it concerns potable water.
The Mabanda Traditional Council on its part performed libation calling on the gods of Mabanda to bless the project and protect the technicians. The divisional officer of Kumba 3 subdivision present at the ceremony was also a fulfilled man and says the people will once more smile, especially when the project will be completed.
We've come a long way to see how to salvage the excruciating water situation.
It is expected that the construction of this giant borehole will be completed in February 2021.
It will cost us more than 20 million francs.
The official mascot of the 2021 CHAN is on a tour of towns that will host the 2021 African Nations Cup. Tara was very well received in Yaoundé yesterday and will visit Douala tomorrow. The tour is aimed at getting the population prepared ahead of the games that will start in January 2021. Details with Fonquinta.
The official mascot of the 2021 African Nations Championship, Tara, yesterday, December 27, 2020, began a tour of different towns slated to host the championship. Tara's tour in the nation's political capital yesterday was an indication that the much-awaited tournament is just weeks away.
Good things are going soon to start. That's why we decided to launch this mascot tour, which will cover all the various sites where the competition will take place. So it just will tell Cameroonians that we are ready to offer to the African population a fantastic show.
The mascot was received triumphantly by the population of Yaoundé as it officially announced that the competition, slated for January 16, 2020, is just 3 weeks away. During a brief ceremony at the Yaoundé Sports Complex, the Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Professor Narcisse Mwele-Kombi, explained the importance of Tara's tour to the population while urging them to demonstrate patriotism in welcoming all 16 teams come January 16, 2021. The ceremony witnessed a presentation by different dance groups representing the 4 cultural regions of the country as Tara left the sports complex to some neighborhoods in Yaoundé. Tara, the mascot, is expected this Tuesday in the nation's economic capital and Stadia and Limbe in the days ahead.
We've come to the end of today's edition of Prime News. Thanks for being a part of today's edition. The news was coordinated by Lasha Kingsley, produced by Ewane Eli Nolinga. My name is Gienda Pelji Blanche King. Until we meet again tomorrow at 6:30 Cameroon time, God willing, for another edition of Prime News, we're urging you or encouraging you to stay tuned to My Media Prime. Coming up next is a special edition of Prime Hour with Leonard and his crack team of analysts. Stay tuned. Enjoy today's edition of the program. Happy New Year in advance. Good night.